Hello everyone, welcome to our class, and for this time let's discuss about individual psychology by Alfred Adler. So Alfred Adler's theory, no, siya yung nag-follow kay Freud. He views people as optimist, no, or positive yung tingin niya sa tao unlike sa tingin ni Freud na pessimist. No, he also tries to dispute Freud's theory. May mga concept siya na inintroduced na hindi siya nag-agree sa mga sinasabi ni Freud. Na always yung tatandaan kapag individual psychology, no, it means indivisible. Kaya siya tinawag na individual psychology. Hindi nakahati yung mental life natin sa pre-conscious, conscious, and unconscious. Isa lang talaga siya. It's indivisible. It's just the consciousness. Okay, that is the theory of Alfred Adler. Again, opposing siya sa mga sinasabi ni Freud. Okay, so sabi ni Adler, all failures are so because they lack social interest. So when we say social interest, anong ibig sabihin po nito? Social interest is the feeling of oneness with all humankind. Here are some preliminary questions for discussion to differentiate Adler's theory from Freud's theory, explains the concept of social interest as according to Adler, explain the concept of organ dialect as according to Adler, and the two differentiate safeguarding tendencies from defense mechanisms. Alright, the overview of the theory of Adler. We have here seeing people, no, as positive, seeing people as optimist, no, positive view in human nature, unlike what Freud perspective, no, yung perspective ni Freud na pessimistic. He believed that individuals can control their fate. Unlike Freud, wherein deterministic, Adler has a view that people can control their life. More of free choice. People have their free will to be who they want to be, no? To change what they can change, no? So, very opposing sa mga dalawa ni Freud. They can do this in part by trying to help others through social interest, no? Again, when we define social interest, it is the feeling of oneness and unity with all humankind. How can they do this? How can they do this be understood through their analyzing their lifestyle? So, may concept din siya na style of life and creative power which can really mold their style of life. I will discuss that later on. Early interactions with family members, peers, and teachers help determine the role of inferiority and superiority in their lives. So which means that childhood experiences still has a factor in influencing your personality of who you are today. Individual psychology present an optimist view of a person resting heavily on social interest. Okay, just to reiterate. Here are some tenets of Adler's theory. First is the striving force for success and superiority or superiority. So this is the sole dynamic force of people's action. This is universal, no? Either you strived for personal superiority or for the success of all. Striving for personal superiority is considered to be unhealthy because prominent yung inferiority complex. You see yourself as someone inferior. That's why you want just to have that personal gain from your behavior. Hence, striving for the success of all is healthier in a way that you are viewing everyone as equal as you are and you want to contribute something to the society. It gives you the sense, the social interest, to help others, to provide. Okay, the final goal is either personal success or the success for all. So, it's either you are going for personal superiority or the success of all, striving for success. Okay, sa kanya din galing yung subjective perceptions, no? The way we look on things differed, no? Or subjectively iba-iba. We have fictions as well. This is how we see our experiences, also the expectations we have on the future. And fictionalism is the goal of superiority. We also have physical inferiorities, no, that is being introduced by Adler. So let's go with the tenets of Adler's theory, just a continuation. There is a unity and self-consistency of personality. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, wherein unlike Freud, there are different levels of mental life, conscious, unconscious, and preconscious. For Adler, he sees a person as one only, consciousness, no? Isa lang, hindi sila nadi-divide. Organ dialect naman, this is like body organs has to speak a certain language. Like for instance, there is a blind man, no? It's like telling you or giving you that impression that look at me, I am disabled. Look at me, I cannot see. It's like an organ saying something or gives an impression. Okay, it's from the theory of Adler, conscious and unconscious. All right, let's try to go on further with our discussion. Gemeinschaftgefühl, or this is a German word, Gemeinschaftgefühl, or termed as community feeling, related also to social interest. Just remember this term, lalabas to sa board exam minsan. Style of life, okay, this is the flavor of a person's life, how he runs, how he views his life. Creative power, this is to mold the style of life, okay. Masculine protest, no, this is also influenced by Freud because there is that disparity when it comes to viewing female and male. Mas dominant kasi talaga yung male before. That's why masculinity is being considered as important or powerful. You know, it influences the society as well. There is this desirability to become masculine, no? And which is meron din namang opposing na concept si Horney dito, no? Meron siyang feminine psychology and womb envy in opposition of these concepts brought out by Adler and Freud, masculine protest and penis envy. Here are some external factors of maladjustment. So we have here the different types or factors, no, on how we can consider a person to be maladjusted. First is exaggerated physical deficiencies. We also have pampered style of life and neglected style of life. So when we say exaggerated physical deficiencies, there is that desire to overcompensate for what is lacking on you. Okay, you're trying your best to somehow compensate, no, to what is missing on you, and that is a maladjusted type of behavior. Pampered style of life naman, you have weak social interest but a strong desire to perpetuate too much time, no? So it means that you are pampered, you are somehow spoiled, no? You have that weak social interest and you just care for yourself, no, not really care for the success or for everyone's welfare. Neglected style of life happened when there is abuse and mistreatment. Most cases here are children, know that they are being neglected or unwanted by their parents. Okay, this is also a factor that can contribute to maladjustment. All right, I hope this is clear. Safeguarding tendencies. Okay, so if Freud has defense mechanism, Adler has safeguarding tendencies. This happens in the consciousness. Unlike Freud, it happens on the unconsciousness. This enable people to hide their inflated self-image, to maintain their current style of life, and the shield also their fragile self-esteem from public disgrace. Okay, here we have excuses. Okay, like pag sinasabi mong gagawin ko yan, but please do this. I want to be that person, but there is this factor that does not allow me to be that kind of person. Yes, but format. Okay, that is excuses. Aggression naman, exaggerated superiority complex, not through, overemphasizing yourself of who you are, superiority complex, no? Exaggerated. Depreciation naman is when you undervalue others and or overvalue one's own. Sometimes this can happen on some conversation wherein you will undervalue the achievement of one person and you try to focus more into your own achievement, no, to overvalue yourself. That is depreciation, no, and it can be normal in a way that you're hiding your inflated or your inferior self-image. That can happen, no. Depreciation. Accusation naman is you have the tendency to blame others for your own failure. Okay, when you try to accuse people of something that happened but it was your fault, This is also to hide your self-image, no? Withdrawing happens. It's setting a distance between problems and themselves. So you try to withdraw, you try to go out from the situation to also hide or to also protect, to safeguard your self-image and your self-esteem, no, from public disgrace. Moving backward is reverting to a more secure period of life. So, like for instance, you will not take the board exam because you're afraid to fail, so you go back, no, so you don't proceed. No, sometimes it can be enough also in equalization or equal siya with regression. Moving back, you don't uh, actualize or you don't try to proceed, no, to what is supposed to be ang gagawin mo because you believe that it can be a form of threat. It cannot give you something or baka possibility na mag-fail ka, no? So that is moving backward. Standing still is when you do not move to any direction. Also, you avoid responsibility. Okay? That is standing still. You just go into it, no? Hindi ka gumagawa ng any forwarding decision. Hesitating naman is like, it's too late now. Okay, tapos na to. When you hesitate to face a difficult problem, no? Hindi mo na siya fini-face, hindi mo na siya kino-conquer, no? Ayaw mo na siyang uh, ayaw mo na siyang pagdaanan pa or ayaw mo na siyang i-process pa. That is hesitating. Constructing obstacles is overcoming obstacles to protect one's self-esteem. So, nangyayari to kapag gumagawa tayo ng mga challenges sa buhay natin, no? Like, pumupunta tayo dito, ganyan, 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 ganyan. Gumagawa tayo ng mga kung ano-ano, no? This will help us preserve our self-esteem para hindi tayo ganon poor or hindi mag-aggravate yung poor self-image natin or yung poor self-esteem natin. No, minsan mas nakakataas din to ng kumpiyansa natin sa ating sarili. It will protect our self-confidence. Okay. Additional notes, Freud focused more to biological characteristics and factors while Adler has more environmental take into seeing a person's personality. People are motivated by social interest. People are responsible for who they are. They have their free will. They have their free choice. Present behavior is shaped by people's view of the future through fictions, no? And fictionalism. Psychologically healthy people are aware of what they're doing and why they're doing this. Okay, and we have sa terms teleology versus causality. Teleology, this is explaining the behavior in terms of its final goals. Future, teleos, future, or the end. Causality naman is dealing with past experiences before. Okay, and for Adler, personality is simplified and self-consistent. Okay, so part also with the theory of Adler is the different or the different birth orders, no? We have here the characteristic or traits that a person can have depending on his birth order. It is family constellation. This is called family constellation. For the oldest child, okay, positive traits, nurturing, protective, good organizer. Negative traits can be highly anxious, exaggerated feelings of power, and unconscious hostility, no? And also uncooperative at times. For the second child, the positive traits is moderately competitive, highly motivated, and cooperative. And for the negative traits is a person can be highly competitive and easily discouraged. No? For the youngest child, okay, a person positive traits is a person can be realistically ambitious, and the negative traits is pampered style of life, wants to excel on everything and dependent on others. For the only child, the positive traits is socially mature, and for the negative traits is exaggerated feelings of superiority, low feelings of cooperativeness or cooperation. There is an inflated sense of self and pampered style of life. Okay, so just applications to psychotherapy by Alfred Adler. So we have also the term early recollections. This is through this technique, the clients are encouraged to recall their early memories, their early childhood memories, what happened to them before, what can they still remember, and also dreams, no attempts to solve problems through interpreting it. And Adlerian psychotherapy is more of enhancing and improving social interest, no? The success of all. Okay. These are the types of people according to their degree of social interest. Perhaps you can read this one, ruling in the dominant type. This person has low social interest, getting and learning type. Para bang no return, no? It's more of getting what you want in life, parang using other people, trying to uh, trying to have personal gain rather than helping or providing others. Avoiding type is you try to avoid a situation that may cause you distress or problem. A socially useful type is a person. This is the most uh, positive type or healthiest type of people. They have high social interest. Abnormal development, okay, this occurs when there is underdeveloped social interest. Okay, people here set their goals too high. They live in their own private world and they have a rigid and dogmatic style of life. So these are characteristics that can result to abnormality or abnormal development and poor social interest. Okay, that will be all. Thank you so much for listening.